everybody, this is Bubster47 with another product review. Today I will be reviewing my Springfield Armory XD45. I've already done a review on my PX4 in the background. I'm going to use it for a few comparisons and examples. So if you haven't watched that review, be sure to go take a look at it. I'm not going to get into all the specifications necessarily. There's, lots of documentation and other reviews that probably get into that. This is more of a things that I've seen and dealt with while using this gun, things that you might want to think about if you're going to go buy it, things that you might run into. I mean, specifications are great, but in the field, how they actually work, are things that you want to think of as well. So, first thing I want to point out is the sight picture of the gun. There's three types, mostly two, but there's three types of sight pictures. There's a 6 o'clock sight picture, a point of aim sight picture, and what they call a combat sight picture. Most guns, from what I understand, have either a point of aim or a combat. A lot of guns are going to a combat sight picture, and I'll post a picture that kind of shows what the different three are. But in most cases, I guess the way I think anyways, and I would say most people probably think the same way, is whatever you're pointing at, that's what you're going to hit. You put the dot on the target, that's where you're going to hit. With the 6 o'clock sight picture, which is what this gun uses, you basically are aiming just below where you want to hit. So if again, I'll post the picture so you can see a better idea. But if you're trying to hit here, you want your dot to be just below it, which is kind of awkward. So if you're used to shooting a different way, going to this gun, you might have some accuracy problems. My brother, I don't want to get in trouble here, but my brother has had some problems when we've gone out. And I think that's one of them, is just in general, when you point at something, that's what you're going to hit, not you got to point below what you're trying to hit. And I mean, for the most part, you're even if you're pointing at it, you're probably still going to hit close, but you're going to get high groups. This gun has, it's kind of tricky actually. They say it has a point of aim sight picture, but it actually shoots a little low. It's more of a combat sight picture, and that's kind of what I've seen too. You point directly at what you want to hit, and that's where your groups are going to be. But those two, I think, are much closer than the 6 o'clock. So if you use either one of those, you're going to have closer groups to what you should than, say, a 6 o'clock picture. But keep that in mind if you're going to use it. Going to buy it, if you are not used to a 6 o'clock picture already, it might give you some troubles when you go to it. Again, sorry it's windy. Every time I go to film, it's windy, and my camera apparently doesn't do a very good job of filtering out wind noise, and I tried to make a windscreen for it, but it didn't work. So I tried something new here. Hopefully it works. But one of the other things, this gun, I like the gun. It's treated me well. I prefer the PX4 Storm. If I go get another pistol anytime soon, I probably will get another PX4. This is actually my wife's gun, but I'll probably get another one in either a 40 or 45, just because that gun has impressed me in more than one way, and I said that in my review, so I'm not going to get into that much more. But your safeties, some of the people that have used this gun while we were out shooting has had issues with the palm safety. Doesn't seem like it would be a big deal, but if you don't have, well, big hands, first of all, this is a pretty big gun, so it fits my hands all right. But my wife has really small hands, and so just getting a proper grip for her is a little tougher, I guess. She's not as big of a shooter as I am, but something to think about. But yeah, I don't know why, but I've seen some people have some problems with that. safety. You know, other than that and the trigger safety, you don't have an external safety on the gun. So if you're used to safeties, it might throw you off, but I don't think it's needed if you're shooting properly with safety and everything. Tear down, again, I'm not going to get into this much because people, I'm sure, have done it, but just a little lever, you lock the slide back, release it, and make sure that the pin is fired and it just slides off. So pretty easy. The one thing I showed on this other one that I like better than this gun is, this one, you have to lock it back in place. It's not a huge deal, you know, before it'll, or, you know, so you can lock it back in. It's not a big deal, but it's just a little bit easier on this Beretta. You know, just cock it and you're good to go. I just happen to have a magazine in here, that's why it locked back automatically, but it automatically does it for you. So that's kind of a nice feature. I mean, it's not like you're taking your gun apart all that often, but if you're out in the field and you got to do something quick, either one's going to treat you good. It just is a little easier on that gun. Reliability, I haven't had, to my knowledge, very many jams. I've done some reloads for this gun, and that's the only ammunition that I've had a jam with so far. So I'll blame that on myself, not the gun. There's been some extensive tests on this specific gun. My brother-in-law, as a matter of fact, when he was in the military, recommended this to me, and so I bought it. This has kind of become my carry gun when I go hunting, bow hunting and whatnot, for, you know, just in case. But overall, I like the gun. It's very durable, pretty reliable. If you take care of it just like any gun, you're not going to have problems with it. The magazine is a 13 round magazine, which is quite a bit for 45. Haven't had many issues with this at all, which is great. Just the thing that I think has thrown me off the most for accuracy wise is a 6 o'clock picture. And I kind of wanted, that's why I wanted to bring that up first, to kind of just get that out there and let people know it is something that you're going to have to worry about. If you're shooting, if you're used to shooting a 6 o'clock picture, it's not going to be a big deal. But if you're not, that is something to think about. And if you're going for smaller targets, it then becomes a problem. You know, if you're trying to stay in a 6-inch group or smaller, you know, that's going to become problematic if you're not used to it. So anyways, that's my review. Hope you enjoyed it. I probably mumbled through that a little bit, but I am by no means a expert or professional, but these are just things that I've things that have come up for me, and so I wanted to reiterate that to you guys. So highly recommend the gun. If you want to buy it, it's a good gun to get. Just those things keep in mind after you buy it, things that you're going to have to pay attention to. As always, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I appreciate all my subscriptions, and thanks for watching.
White, blue, red, red, magazine change, red, white, blue, milk jug. Oh, we didn't.